Good morning, how we doing? How's it going? Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Brilliant. How's the mic sounding? Okay. Guitar. Very good. Right, we'll get this lined up. Hey, right. Hi Gail, how are you doing? And Kurt. Sounds good, excellent. Yeah, so I've got a few tweaks I need to do just on the master here. Because we've got a few things I need to just relax a bit. Okay. Hey. I need to come this way, don't I? Get more of the guitar in. There we go. Right, so been a busy week. I've been doing a little bit of videoing actually, potentially, for a product that's coming out, but I can't say what it's for and who it's for. So that was like a load of fun, but I've done that, so it's back to streaming now. My arms are in quite good health, been going to the gym, which is amazing. I'm really into going to the gym, which is cool. But we'll get into a track. We've been getting 1 hour of practice before work. That's great, Kurt. Right. Okay, so check 1 2. Check 1 2. It's better, isn't it? Okay. Buckethead. Hi Lemon Vortex. So if you're enjoying this, please do like the channel and also subscribe, very important, and maybe you want to become a member and support the channel as well, which would be brilliant. There's no particular perk becoming a member apart from your support and allow this channel to grow, because one thing that happens on here is I do a little bit of coaching and tutoring on guitar and music production, so it's always worth supporting it. Also some of the past lives go on there as well. Right, so what's happening in Guitarland? So Kurt has been getting 1 hour of practice. Very good. Now let's get this up on here. So this is very good news. This is I think this is stemming from our conversation, isn't it, from last week? So so another week of getting practice in before work. That habit is going to be really locked on, and it's going to be very, very easy mentally for you to like just get up and you'll be just practicing. You'll not even know how you got there. To be fair, Kurt, and you'll probably feel that happening as you know, even now. I think forming a habit. One of the interesting analogies that I heard for forming a habit, it's like walking through a wheat field. Okay, so you're walking through a wheat field. First time you walk through it's quite difficult, but eventually once you've been through a couple of times you create a little pathway, don't you? And then it's easier to walk through it, and I think that's how the practice thing is. It's just easier to get there. There is less resistance in the way, and it becomes addictive because you will be feeling now the benefits of that and growing. And then the next thing is really the next question is because at some point you will get bored, you see, so it's how do you overcome boredom, and that's just making sure that you've always got a fresh set of aims and objectives. So one thing like I would do is, in a bit of downtime at work, just write a list of all the things that you want to do on guitar, everything that you want to accomplish in the next year. And I mean, if you're writing a list, what I would do is I would just set a timer for 10 minutes and like write as fast as you can this list of all the things that you want to do. And like, I mean, list everything, don't edit, even the rubbish ones, just put everything down. You may find that you'll run out of things. Just stay with the 10 minutes and then other stuff will come out, good stuff will come out that's really, really interesting to explore. And then just basically review the list, cross out all the things that you're just not going to do, and then prioritize the ones that you are going to do, and put those in an order, and then pick one of them and then devise an action plan, and that's how you do it. Because that's the thing, it's like then, you know, sometimes, and I'm not, and like you say, and I'm not saying, right, Jack Gardner, he doesn't do this. Like, I don't get up and go, right, I'm doing, like it's a gym, like 10 minutes, fucking alternate picking, swore there, fucking alternate picking. I'm gonna do 10 minutes, like, 10 minutes alternate picking, and then I'm gonna do 10 minutes legato, and then I'm gonna do 10 minutes chords, and then I'm gonna do like 10 minutes something else, right? I'm like, honestly, it's like I can feel the shutters coming down. I'm not doing that. That's boring. A bit of that's okay if it's in, you know, if you need to do that in service of your aims and objectives, then that's it. But just getting up aimlessly, why am I doing this? It's like a chore, isn't it? So everything has to have a purpose. So in the front of our minds, what we've always got to think about is how we are connecting with the world, you know. Very easy if you're doing YouTube live because you've got something you can develop, you know. Not only have you got yourself and your guitar, but you've also got your surrounding environment. So kind of everything comes into play when you go this route. Everything should be, what I'm saying is everything should be in service of your connection. So at the minute, I mean, like I'm thinking, well, I mean, I'm saying about exercises, like I wanted to tidy, I'm doing a lot of hybrid picking, actually my fingers sore doing it, you know, I wanted to tidy that up a little bit. So that's quite a hard exercise to do that. So I did, and I've got it here. I got Brett out, and what I like about Brett is I went, well, I'm not going to do 2 fingers, I'm not going to do 3 fingers, so that limits me right down this week to the first 11 pages or something, 11 exercises, and they're very simple, and it gets you going, you know, and that's what I like. So literally, just as if I'm bored or something like that, I can just do the hybrid exercises. Hold on. I'll show you that exercise because anybody who's wanting to hybrid pick, it's a good one. Let's get to here. Right, all I'm doing is a 5th in this hand, and we're starting with the hybrid. So this is like, I found this quite tricky at first because it develops your confidence in starting licks with the middle finger. And it's just hybrid, and then we go down, up, down, hybrid. So a great little exercise that, I highly recommend it. So it's already having a profound effect on my playing. So any questions, anything anybody wants to know about anything, this setup, the tech behind it, the guitar playing, theory, technique, improvisation, all of these things you can ask, and I will share. Get that in the right key. Hi Michael White, I don't do covers. Good day, Matt Lee, how's it going? All right. Hi Mitch, how's it going? Oops. Boom. Right. Oh, I don't know what's that next track. Right. I were doing right. Okay. So just backtracking on the chart. So Donald, just keep learning new things, keeps me occupied. That's great, and new songs are really important, especially when you're starting out, because you know you can analyze them and you can work out how other people are doing things. I can't say that when I was younger I used to have to learn pieces for classical guitar, and I used to learn solos when I was younger, and that's kind of part of the journey of learning to structure things. After that, it was really, I don't ever remember, and I know talking to Thomas, I think this is a very similar thing, learning solos all the way through. I would just hear something that another guitarist was doing and then transcribe it. Now, when I use the term transcribe, right, I just use it because it sounds good. But actually, what the term is when you kind of dissect it, it's not that I'm writing there with pen and quill, listening to music and writing on a manuscript paper. No, the modern guitarist doesn't do that. We'll watch YouTube, watch the fingers and go, all right, that's the bit I want. And then take it and then you repurpose it in your own style, you know. There's a great book, I can't remember who it's by, Steal Like an Artist. It's okay to steal, right, as long as you repurpose it and recontextualize what you're learning, you know, because how can you be fully 100% original, you know? You'd have to completely invent, you know, a scale or something like that. So it's okay to take a sequence or an idea and then model that into your own playing, and because you're pulling from lots of different directions and different genres of music, that's how part of the way that you create your own voice. So, and often when coaching producers, this would come up, how do I think of the next thing? People would say, how do I think of that next future style of music that's gonna, you know, everybody's gonna wanna copy and emulate, and it'll make me massively famous and I'll be able to DJ around the world. Because yes, sorry guys, I used to produce dance music, believe it or not. How is that gonna make me world famous? So I've, you know, never got a winter in my life. If I don't want. And the question, the answer to that is that we don't think forwards, we think back. So it's listening back to things that resonate with you, and then pulling them forward into a different context. There we go. Please do subscribe, please do like the channel. If you haven't done a like, please like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Oh, thank you, Gregory. Oh, you've subscribed, have you? Hopefully. Great to have you on here. This is cool, new sub. Thank you, Neil. Pleasure to have you here. BK2 Rock, thank you. Very good. Please subscribe. Yep, I think that's part of the journey. I'm always winging it. That's my speciality, winging it. Yep, put a twist on Yingwi. I can't embellish on any Yingwi, although I do a few Ying. Well, that's it. So what you need to do. So what I would do is I would have a Yingwi lick, right? And then you just start moving it, you know. So that's like Yingwi lick legato, isn't it? And you just work out like where in the scale positions you can move it to, and then you just start learning all the scale positions, and then how you can kind of break in and out of that lick with other licks. You know, it might just be a little bit like that. Put a twist on Yingwi, right? Okay. Let's see. Neo. Classical guitar. Oh, no, don't want that. Okay, we'll do this. Well, you wouldn't use chromatic much. Rising Force is a great album. I enjoyed Ollie Ross playing too. He was ahead of his... Yeah, he was. I remember my guitar teacher went, listen to this first, then listen to Yngwie. I just wanted to listen to Yngwie. Oh. So I never played the neoclassical thing. Hi Grady. How about Satriani? What happens if I type Satriani in? It's like the Yngwie thing, I started doing a bit of picking. That's all that kind of stuff. Right, Satriani. Who's... I don't like... I don't know. We'll do something. I'll find something. Not that. This will kind of get us there. This is a Strandberg, very nice. Thank you, Major Mokoto, sounding fantastic, Hutch. Thanks for the late night session. I'm off for the evening. Okay. See you hopefully on the next one. Thanks, BKD. Hi, Joseph. All right. So, sorry, how about Eddie Van Halen? Well, I would say I couldn't just switch. So that, like, because there's a player that's very unique. I don't think I could just switch an Eddie Van Halen switch on and sound like him. But interesting, because obviously he was an influence. And I think there's like a certain percent of Eddie in everything I play. There are certain things that he did that I really like. So like one of my favorite Van Halen solos is Push Comes to Shove, and there's like I really like the legato thing that he did on there, and it was like at the time that he was really influenced by, funnily enough, Alan Holdsworth, and like all of these kind of licks, that kind of playing. I really like the Push Comes to Shove, and I think that whole sort of vibe in that solo I'm somewhat influenced by. Obviously harmonics with the pick. It's like it was Eddie that I was listening to when I was trying to get that going. Satriani taught my teacher who taught my guitar teacher. I always wanted to sound like myself, so I guess what I learned most from Satriani's style is to make notes resonate, yes. And hi, Joseph. Excellent. Joseph has just subscribed. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, he was great. Me too. It's like, yeah, things I've been working on is just high, like clarity of my overall playing, so little hybrid picking things. Hammers from nowhere. So, I mean, the trick is with like legato like that, right, is it's all about finger accuracy on the fret and speed of the finger hitting the fret. What it isn't is hitting the fret really hard with your finger. Whoops. Yeah, Yingwi did well, he inspired me. I mean, Yingwi was the thing that kind of made me realise that where's my coffee? That I would have to practice 40 hours a day. At least that's what I thought. You just have to practice a lot. That's not true. You don't have to practice shitloads of hours, but what you have to do is you have to be you have to be structured in some way. You do have to have but the interesting thing about Yingwi, because when he was on Rick Beardo, he was like, oh, Rick's like, right, so how do you practice? And I don't practice. And I think what Yingwi means by that, and you hear this again a lot with players, that the practice that they do tends to be more experiential, I would say. So in other words, it's always linked to a context, so they'll always be jamming over something. They'll always be thinking about a song or a solo that they're writing. So there's always like a context. What it never is just like the rudiments of a technique and playing that. It'll be that inside of some musical composition or something that they're doing. So for example, like often what I'll do when I'm practicing is I'll just put a track on and then I'll start, like here, the track can't stop. But if there's something I'm really messing up, then what I'll do is I'll stop the track and I'll analyse that melodic phrase, and I'll look at the phrases before and after it and what's happening in the middle. So, you know, it's like I form this sort of like incident, this forensic incident where I investigate why something went wrong, and you learn loads from that. And then from that, it might be, well, it's because maybe my hybrid picking or alternate picking was letting me down, so I do need to do some work there. And then you're able to kind of analyse where that problem is. Incidentally enough, I do have, right, a bit of a pitch here. Anybody who's interested in it, I do have a problem-solving tool that will solve any musical problem, whether you're writing, you know, producing, anything like that. Anything where you've produced something and there's a problem and you can't put your finger on what it is. I have this tool called Codex. And simply what that's about is learning the ability to, and this is what I use, this is linked to this, it's the ability of being able to acknowledge, right, there's a problem in this piece of music or a problem in your soloing. It's good if you can watch yourself back on video camera, but then being able to describe what is happening. So in other words, describing what the music you're playing over is doing in detail, and I mean in detail, like what's the kick drum doing, what's the snare drum doing, what the hi-hat's doing, what's the bass doing, what chord is happening at that time, are there any other instruments kind of there, okay, and then what is the guitar doing at that time, and describing it. So it becomes that part where the problem is, it's almost like a three-dimensional model. Now this takes time to do at first, but suddenly you'll start thinking like this all the time in real time. It's like being a Terminator. You can just see everything that's going on. And in terms of production, you become one of these producers who just have an answer for everything. Oh, we'll try this, you know, and it seems to work. But so you build a model. So describing something is like one thing, because you have to be restrained. What I find people will do is as soon as they describe something, they think they've got the answer and they immediately start telling you how they're going to solve something when they haven't actually described what the problem is. And when you do that, what you tend to do is work on the wrong thing and make something worse. Then there's an explanation of why you don't like it. And the explanation, the more accurate you are, then the more material you're going to have to work with. And then once you have your explanation, it's like, you know, you need to understand why it's bothering you, and then after that you can then work out an action plan of what you're going to do. But what it means is you've kind of dragged something down to its most minutest kind of problem area, and I think a lot of these players will naturally be able to do this through trial and error very quickly, but part of that's coming from, you're only going to get that if you're actually playing with somebody or over something. So anybody wanting to come for a coaching session more on this, you can send me an email. I've also got a coaching group who have been through the Codex but are going through it again. So if you want to join, what's my email again? But yeah, any guitar questions? Anybody want to talk about anything? So what's your opinion on, I used to play a Les Paul Gibson when I was in my indie rock band for years. I got used to it. I never at first really liked playing it because it was for the look, you know, but God, that guitar was nice. It was so cool looking. It was a Gibson Gold top and it was beat up and it was just like, I was a proper rock star when I had that on. Yeah, really good. That was in the days in my band. I used to have like a Sex Pistols type. I used to wear a straight jacket. I used to have like this top that looked like it was like a John Lydon thing. It was like a designer thing. And it was like a straight jacket. This is in the late 90s, and it had all these cool like bits hanging off it. And then it was black, and it just had in pink "sex" written on the front. And then I had this Gibson Gold top. I still had my hair like this. And that was my image on stage. I should bring back the straight jacket, shouldn't I, for the live with Thomas? Good. Oh, it wasn't a gimmick though. That was real life to me. That was like, you know, I'd probably walk to the supermarket to buy a bottle of milk like that back in the day. I mean, I was just. You know, I was in the narrative of that 24/7. You're a good man, but play a song. Yes, but what song should I play? You know, I've been really into I don't know. We need some atmospheric reverb, don't we? Yes, it's all the headless Strandberg. Oh, doing the splits here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Quite a good track that. I should really play my own band's music, shouldn't I? Alright, but that long drawn out, yeah, I mean, I was going to go into something bluesy there. Oops. Forgetting what key I'm in. Right. I think blues is going to be next live session. So, so I'll just catch up on the track. So please do subscribe, please do like. Can we get some more likes going? This is good. I've got 36 likes. This is very good. Sounds great. Honestly, you don't need all that reverb and delay. You've got a good play. Most people add all that delay and reverb to cover up their playing. I'm a bass player though. What do I know? Well, you probably know lots. I have the effects on because they sound good. Now it sounds like I've got a lot of effects on this guitar, but actually when it's in the music, it's just to blend it. It just blurs the edges really, and just enough delay where, you know, if I stop playing, we get that nice trail. So actually, the way I have my delay set up, there's a ducking on it, and what that ducker does is it just attenuates the delay, pushes it down, so the guitar's more forward, and only when I stop playing, the delay comes up. Do you hear how the delay comes up in volume? It's cool, isn't it? But actually, like, the effects, when I put those effects on, I haven't done it to, like, at a point where I feel secure. It's just done to a point where it fits in general with the music I'm doing. So everything I do is with the music in mind, really, if that makes sense. It's like a mixed guitar tone, isn't it? Yeah, Donald. You're a great player, but I get that, but your notes would be far more pronounced, if my opinion. Right, well, let's tell you what. I know what we'll do. Where's my... Right, I've switched all the effects off. Right, let's get a track up. There you go. It's fun, isn't it? But it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't blend as well with the track, but you do get to hear the guitar. Great playing, and the tone from his fingers dynamic is great, thank you. Pretty talented. The only thing, like, I don't believe in like natural, right? So I don't believe in natural talent, okay? Because when you become a professional musician, right, everybody's talented, everybody's good, because it's more to do with how you practice and the frequency of practice. That's all it comes down to. What I had when I first started wasn't talent but motivation, so that negated. Interesting thing about me is at school I didn't do too well, but I absolutely excelled at music, and it was because I wanted to do it. The reason I didn't do very good at school was because I have really severe dyslexia, believe it or not, which I overcame, but weirdly, and ended up going to university on 2 funded scholarships to do on 2 master's programs for music. But so it's like my education through music happened after school, but I was motivated, so I was therefore practicing, but then people would go, oh, he's very good at that, he's naturally gifted, but I was putting the time in even then. That's the thing, is if you put the time in, you'll get it out, but it is down to, you know, the frequency and how you practice. Right, so I work as a therapeutic musician, right, in basically hospital, and I just use cheap guitars all the time, not like massively expensive guitars. So all the time I'm working on an acoustic guitar that's not like the best. Yeah, Red Beach is very good. Right, Donald, very good. Also a good point. No, and only 4 chords. So what you'll find is I put this down to conditions of success. So those bands have a good, very strong identity together, don't they? But they also have, you know, they'll have the habits dialed in, they'll have like the decisions dialed in, they'll have fear dialed in, boredom dialed in. They know how to connect to the world constantly. They're not hiding away going, oh, we're not quite good enough. They'll go out regardless, and they'll work. They'll be testing all the time. They're testing against the public all the time with music. Yes, the motivation gives you the gift. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all 100% factors. Because I suppose then not everything was on the internet, so you could go off and you could afford to play terrible gigs, couldn't you? You could play. There wasn't a perfectionist mindset, which there is now, sadly. People were happy just to go out and find themselves through experimentation by seeing what worked, what didn't work, what sort of people were attracted to their music. Okay, we'll do more of that because we like that too, you know. It's that sort of thing. Yeah, so all of that's good. Man's team can't play Glenn Campbell, right? Yes, he's got his own style, hasn't he? You're a humble person. Wish you were out here. I'd use you for some sessions at the studio. Proper attitude, thank you. Dynamics, very important. So again, please do like and subscribe. I'm back to streaming. I can stretch. Injuries much better now. From guitar, just in case anybody's wondering, what was the injury? I had 2 swollen bursas, a trapped nerve in my spine, and frozen shoulder starting in this one, and it's all on the mend. and I have no worries now, thank God. But I've been to the gym and everything. I've got a personal trainer on this. I can't take any risks. And to cure the frozen shoulder, I had to have hydrodistension injection and cortisone and physiotherapy. All of that damage was done from playing guitar. So look after yourselves, because the frozen shoulder would have been really bad. If you get any shooting pains in your arm, right, like from moving or twisting, it's the start of it potentially. Don't let it grow. Go immediately to a doctor and insist on having ultrasound and have it checked out, because if the frozen shoulder locks on, it's 36 months to recover. Could you imagine that? I'd be out of action for 36 months potentially. Well, not at full shred, I'd be playing something, but it wouldn't be good. No accident. This is just simply the hours I play. It's because I play. So, like, I work as a therapeutic musician. It's a bit like a music therapist, right, in a hospital. So I'm like, say, like after here, okay, I'll be just playing all day long and doing music production-y kind of stuff, right? And it'll be session after session after session. Like today I'm working in the autism unit. So it'll just be like, you know, I've got like something like 5 or 6 sessions lined up. And it's all playing. Today's all like hard graft playing. So, you know, it can be 8 hours a day, yeah. But then when I'm doing my practice, it'll clock up to that. But I mean, the doctor said I've had this a long time coming. Should have happened years ago, the injury. So I've done well. But if you get physio and you get the right, you know, you can sort it all out. But it was getting worrying. I would say I put up for 4 hours a day, mainly at night right now. Are you doing 4 hours a day practice? Well, that's good. Right, I've got a bit of coffee left, I think. I'll have this, a couple more minutes. No, well, that's pretty good. 4 hours is all you need. You know, that's a lot. All right. So put that there. Okay. I think got a long day ahead. Right, guys, I think that's it for me. Please take care, and I'll see you on the next live. I'm back to streaming, but I daren't say I'll be on tomorrow, just in case, 'cause I don't know what's happening. But I am back to streaming. It'll be more than one stream, I know that. Cool. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.